I wish I would have like sat down and got everything ready for my channel beforehand. Better safe than sorry, just don't do it. If this is one tip that I can tell you to do, it's this one. Do not ever, 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 ever do this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. I'm very excited to have you today. So today's video is actually part 2 of a video I already made last week, and last week's video was more of things that you should think of way before starting your channel just to prepare you mentally, but this video is actually things that you really should know and do and get started on to get ahead of the game before you start your YouTube channel. I've spent months compiling this list, and I think that you guys are really gonna enjoy it, so stay tuned. So obviously, if you're here, you are looking for advice to starting your YouTube channel. You're probably asking, why should you listen to me over somebody who has 1 million subscribers? Because I am relatable to you. I understand what you're going through. I understand how hard it is to build up your channel. These are things that have helped me grow to almost 500 subscribers in a couple of months. Also, the YouTube algorithm is constantly changing, which we all know. So I feel like that some of those people probably got famous or got big on YouTube doing things that are completely different than what you're gonna need to do to get noticed and be successful. But again, this is just a list of beginner tips and tricks to think of before even starting your channel. I think that it will drastically help the people who are looking to start a YouTube channel in 2020, and it might even help some of you who already have a channel and you're just looking to grow it. I'm gonna try really hard not to ramble in this video because I tend to do that, but I've been trying to be better about it. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I actually have a list of about 40 tips that I have before you start your YouTube channel, but I have them broken off into 7 categories. So that's what you will see pop up on the screen whenever we go through this video. So tip group number 1 is preparing out your content. I already talked about this a little bit in the last video, but you need to decide why you're starting a channel. Is it to be a hobby or is it to be a business? And if you want it to be a business, you're gonna have to do a lot more preparation and planning than if you're wanting it to just be something you do for fun. We've already talked over and over about consistency, and I'm not going to dwell on that because, as I've already said, it's so important, but everybody tells you to be consistent. Watch your upload times, your upload days, and try to keep them as consistent as possible. It'll really help you in the long run because YouTube will want to push out your content. We haven't really talked about niching down yet, but I feel like it's really more important to focus on the audience that you're trying to reach on your channel. So a lot of people ask me when they start a YouTube channel, do you need to niche down? Do you feel it's important to niche your channel way down? It will definitely help you in the long run if you can pick one specific topic that you want to talk about on YouTube, but I can assure you that it's not the only way for you to be successful. Your growth might be a little bit faster when you niche down because YouTube automatically knows that that's the content on your channel. If you're posting multiple different types of videos, then it takes a while for the algorithm to pick up on that and know that that's what your channel is about. I started my channel as a beauty, fashion, lifestyle vlogger, travel vlogger, like the biggest niche of things you could do, and I've sort of just niched down into a couple different things that I feel like are for me. So I kind of switched my goal on my channel to being like a lifestyle fashion vlogger, and that's mostly what my content is now. And lifestyle gives you a lot of room because lifestyle is life and living, and so it just includes like a bigger, broader category. It is definitely possible to not niche all the way down to one subject and be successful. I have grown doing multiple types of videos, and it's definitely helped me just niching down a little bit as far as growth. So yeah, probably helpful but not necessary, and there's a lot of people who actually tell you not to niche down your channel because it kind of holds back your potential. The next thing is having a list of 50 plus ideas. I had 150 before starting my channel, and once I niched down, some of those didn't really fit my vibes anymore, so then I struggled trying to figure out what content matched my style and me. You need to make sure that you have a huge list of things that you want to possibly do on your channel, and once you start getting ready to do those things, you need to actually have a plan as far as setting those videos. Do you want to edit a certain way? Do you want to add in B-roll? What kind of stuff do you want to include in that video? Do you have a plan? You need to just have a basic idea of how you want that video to flow. And the last tip in this first category is chasing trending topics. Should you chase trending topics? Yes and no. I feel like if it fits your channel and it's something that you actually are passionate about or enjoy doing, absolutely chase trending topics. It's going to help your channel drastically grow. However, if it's something that completely is off the charts, not even related to your channel, then I think that's actually a really bad way to grow your channel because people aren't sure what they should expect from you when they subscribe. They just feel like you're kind of all over the place. That's my advice on trending videos. We're not going to talk about that too terribly much. Chasing chasing trending videos will definitely help you get up there on, you know, your subscribers and hopefully reach, but you're also chasing something that's overly saturated. So just remember that when you're trying to do those videos, you want to do the videos, but do them in a way that's original to you, and kind of think outside of the box and outside of your comfort zone as to what you can do to make it completely different when they watch your video versus somebody else's video. Tip category number 2 is equipment. Equipment can be one of the hardest things to figure out when you're starting your YouTube channel. Should you invest in this and that and the other? If you watched my first video, I said don't invest in equipment until you're 100% sure that you're gonna commit to YouTube. You can definitely buy a camera if that's what makes you more comfortable, but I filmed on my iPhone for months and it actually was just fine. I like my camera and I loved switching over, but it was absolutely not essential to the growth of my channel. Don't invest until you're 100% positive unless you just want to have like a $500 vlogging camera sitting around your house. I definitely think you need to have an editing software picked out that you want to use. You need to practice that editing software and know how to add in special effects. That's something that I wish I would have done before starting my channel, because once I started editing, it was when I had a deadline to drop a video and I just couldn't figure out as much stuff as if I would have practiced filming myself and then practicing my editing software. I started off with iMovie, which is free if you have a Mac, but I switched over to Final Cut Pro. I love Final Cut Pro, and you actually get a discount if you're a student. I know a lot of people use Adobe Premiere, and that's really good software to use as well, but it's a lot more difficult and complex than I feel like Final Cut Pro. So definitely look up tutorials and videos before you start trying to edit videos. You want to have that kind of basic beginner knowledge of how you want to edit and the effects that you want to put in. The other thing I would highly suggest getting before you start your channel is a hard drive. I didn't have a hard drive and it just makes things a lot easier. Basically, it's going to store all of your stuff on that versus your MacBook or your computer. That really has helped me. It's made my Mac go a lot faster, and I almost blew up my MacBook. Like, I almost blew it up. When I tell you it almost, like, it engulfed in flames, it really did. So yeah, get a hard drive because it makes things a lot easier and you'll want the extra storage. One thing I told myself is that I would set goals for myself before investing in certain equipment. So I set a certain subscriber goal for my camera, or I set a certain subscriber goal for a new editing software. So that's something that maybe you can consider. That way you kind of hold yourself accountable to meet some sort of criteria before you just make an investment. So tip number 3 is actually going to be preparing your channel. If this is one tip that I can tell you to do, it's this one. I wish I would have like sat down and got everything ready for my channel beforehand, and this is like my favorite tip on my list. I would highly recommend getting your channel art ready. So your banner on your profile picture, your description box of your channel. You want to have all that stuff done before because it's a lot easier and it's going to automatically give you some sort of credibility when people come onto your channel because it looks uniform and it just looks more professional. I would even suggest getting your playlist ready. That way you kind of know like what stuff you want to break up your channel into, and you can automatically have that done. I didn't even start playlists until like 5 videos in, and playlists actually really have helped my channel grow. You can also set up a basic description of what you want in each of your video description boxes. So I put like my socials in there, some of the products that I use that I really enjoy. I put my equipment on there. So you can have that stuff just templated and ready to go, so you can just copy and paste it for faster uploads. You want to have like a presentable theme on your channel. So get your thumbnail ideas ready and your style of your thumbnails beforehand, because I changed my thumbnails so many times until I finally found a style that was mine. And I feel like it's so important to practice editing those beforehand and really picking a style that you want for your channel so you don't have to continue changing things. It's okay to change them later down the road, but it's a lot easier to just have one that you like starting off. It helps your channel to look more uniform and just clean, and it helps people find your content easier because they already know your style. Another thing that I would do is actually try and get like an intro ready for your channel. I had a kind of like aesthetic like intro to my channel at first, and I really liked that intro, but it wasn't really me. I kind of did it because everybody else was doing an intro like that. So get an intro ready, have an idea of what you want to do for that, even make one if you're wanting to do like a custom intro. It's a lot easier to just have that done and ready to template onto all your videos versus trying to do it at the last minute. And then if you want an outro card, make sure that you do that as well. This is my outro card. So if you want something like that on your channel, then it's very helpful to, like I said, get that ready beforehand. Your outro card basically is just like, thanks for watching, here's my social medias, here's some other videos from my channel that you might like. Tip 5, we kind of already talked about a little bit, but tip 5 is editing. Practice your editing, pick a software that you like. Practice with different editing softwares so that you know which one you are gonna enjoy. Give yourself time to edit your first video, because I tried to edit mine at the very last minute when I had a set time I was gonna be dropping this video, and I had made a countdown of my channel opening and I had to push it back because my video wasn't ready. That's embarrassing and it just looks messy. So make sure that you give yourself time to edit. I would do it like honestly a couple days in advance before you drop your video, because if not, you're probably gonna be hurting at the last minute. My next category of tips is music. Music was honestly the hardest thing for me to do at the beginning. There's lots of free sources that you can use for your music, like Thematic and the YouTube Music Library. If you want to get a subscription service, there is Artlist, Epidemic Sound. I'm sure that there's more, but I actually just have stuck with Thematic. So I'll talk about music more in depth in the future, but it's always good to research a little bit before you start your channel. Basically, you just go to that website, you set up an account with your Google, and then as long as you are downloading the music and then using their little link that they give you, you just have to put that in your description box and you are free to use that music without getting copyrighted. So you cannot use Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez on your YouTube videos. You will get copyrighted, which means you cannot make money off of those videos in the future. It is a lot easier to just start off using non-copyrighted music. Don't even try and use copyrighted music. So I would just highly suggest like looking into the music library on YouTube or Thematic Music, because those are free options and you will not get copyrighted on those. I also feel like the video that I got copyright striked on, like a warning on, was taking so much more time to upload. I don't know how accurate that is, but normally my videos only take like a little bit to upload, and this one took like 6 hours to upload. So I think that it's like takes your videos longer if you try and use copyrighted content. So my last category of tips for YouTube is just things to keep in mind when starting your channel. Obviously, everybody's gonna tell you it takes a lot of time and work and consistency, and it really does. You need to allot yourself time. If you can only get one video a week that's a solid, consistent video for you, then only do one a week. I wouldn't say to do like 7 videos a week, because your quality of your videos is probably gonna go down, but a couple videos a week is always better than just doing one. So you kind of have to figure out your time management skills, which I will also be doing a future video on, because that was something I really struggled with when I started my channel, and I've gotten so much better at that. Just remember that some videos are going to do better than others, and that's okay. It's all about timing and just the content that you're putting out, and some of the videos that I thought were gonna do the best on my channel have done the worst, and vice versa. So just be patient with the process and pay attention to what videos do well. I noticed that my clothing hauls have done really well, so I've continued to do clothing hauls, and that's what I plan to do moving forward to really help grow my channel. You're going to have mental blocks or struggles with coming up with concepts or trying to figure out how you want to do a concept, and that's okay. It's all a part of the learning process, and I promise that you'll get it. Just stay consistent with it. Set goals for yourself and find joy in like the small triumphs on YouTube. Be excited when you get to 10 subscribers or 50 subscribers. Whatever makes you feel good about yourself, that's what you should be joyful in seeing on your channel. Don't focus so much on other people's channels and what they're achieving, but what you're reaching and the goals that you've set, that you've made for yourself. Give yourself like a little bit of credit and some like leeway. Don't be so hard on yourself. You are probably gonna wanna give up at some point, but don't. I promise you, if you just stick it out and you keep doing videos, it will take off for you eventually in the long run. It might take a long time, like years, depending on just the kind of content you make, but I truly believe everybody can be successful on this platform. Just a couple more ending tips for you to think on. Do not ever, 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 ever do this. Ever. Do not delete your videos. Do not delete your old videos. If you've watched bigger YouTubers, they'll tell you that their videos have taken off 6 months to a year later, and they're making thousands of dollars off of that video. Don't ever delete them, even if you're embarrassed by them, or they're old, or you weren't as good at editing, or you weren't as comfortable talking. It's fine. Don't delete them, because people will still watch them and you're still gonna make money off of them. Don't forget to comment back to people and build relationships with your subscribers. Like their comments, love their comments, and make them want to keep keep coming back to your channel because you're a nice person and you're engaging with them, because that's what you want, is to get on here and build relationships on this platform. And then lastly, of course, make your goal monetization. 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours will get you monetized, and you can make this into an income. I love you guys so much. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. I will continue doing videos like this in the future. I really enjoy helping you guys with your channels, and I hope that these tips are beneficial to you. I love you guys to the end of the earth and back, and I hope to see you guys next time.